Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm going to create parametric wall shelf and use some techniques and formulas that might be useful for you to apply to your family creation, and I'm going to cover the problems you might face. So please subscribe for more videos like this, and let's start with it. Alright, so you click on the big R, new, family, and you choose furniture because the shelves are in a family category as a furniture. So we're gonna set some reference planes for that. Oh, Control Z again. There you go. We set some parameters for that. We call this the width, create parameter, width, okay, and we're gonna create the depth for that as well. Escape, click on the dimension, create, and we call that depth, okay, and let's change this width to 1200 and the depth to 300. And okay, there you go, that is all working. Let's go to front view now, and in the front view create reference plane. We are going to create the thickness and the height of our shelves. So set the dimension. Well, the dimension needs to be from the surface of our shelf. Click on the dimension, create, we call that height, and okay, and we call this the thickness, and okay. Now let's change this thickness to 40 mil. And we want the height to be roughly at 1 meter. Remember that your units are in millimeter. And let's lock this one. We want this to be locked at 40 mil thickness of our shelf. And let's call the top reference plane shelf surface, and call that one shelf bottom. Alright, and let's go to reference level, create extrusion, click on the line, and make sure that you also choose your right reference plane that you're going to draw on. So we're going to pick the shelf bottom, and okay. The reason for that, we're going to pick that because when we set the extrusion, it's going to go up. So we draw that. We want it to be 250, and from there to there 250. Okay, we're going to draw the front parts, 50, 1150, and oh, 1100, sorry. So now we're gonna close that like that, and we want the extrusion to be 30 mil, and okay. And now if we go to the front view, that is 30 mil. Alright, so now let's lock that to the reference plane, pick that one, lock, bottom one, and lock that as well. And there you go. Okay, now let's create the upstand for our shelf. So we're gonna go to the reference level, create, make sure that you pick the surface of the shelf, and OK. Now we're going to draw on the surface of that. So extrusion, and it's going to draw on the surface. 20 mil there, up, and there you go. We want the upstand to be 40 mil, and OK. So if we go to 3D view, double click on the wheel, you will see that we have got a shelf with an upstand. Okay, I'm gonna create the shelf holder separately. So the big R, new, family, furniture, open. I'm gonna set some reference planes for that. The width, and you click on the EQ, that makes it equal on both sides. So we're gonna call that reference plane bar width. Oh. Okay. Create reference planes, and we're gonna call that this will be our bar depth. Create depth. There you go. And we're gonna go to the front view, double click on the wheel, create reference plane, set a dimension for that, create a parameter for it, call that bar height, and OK. Alright, let's go back to the reference level and create our extrusion now. Make sure that is on the reference planes and lock it, and OK. We're gonna change the dimension slightly because that is 40 mil and the bar, sorry, the bar depth is 40 mil. We want the bar height to be, let's say, 300, and OK. And we can change the scale. So that looks better. And let's keep that equal outside. We don't need that. Alright, let's go to the front view now and lock that as well. Bar height 300. Alright, so let's check if that is working. Yep, it's working. 300 again. And now I'm gonna load this family in the other family, the one that we created. So I'm gonna call this one, I'm gonna save this and call it bar support. Okay. And load this one into here. Let's just drop it there for now. We are going to create reference planes for that. Somewhere there. And we want the gap between that to be 100 mil. Oh, that was exact. And let's just lock that in there. There you go. So let's call this parameter bar offset. Okay, and we are going to create another one on the other side. Set a dimension for that. Oh, that was exactly 100 mil. Perfecto. Bar offsets, and make sure that you lock these ones because we don't want them to move. There you go. Now we are creating an array for the bar shelf supports. Click on that and array. We want the last. Okay, make sure that you tick all these ones. There needs to be a linear group, last, and we want the last one to be, oh, click on it again. We want the last one to be here. And that's it, enter. Make sure that you lock this one as well with the reference plane that we have created. Reference plane, center of the bar, and lock. Alright, let's check now if the width is working. We're gonna put this to 2 meters, for example. Yep. As you can see, I've increased the width of my shelf 2 meters, but we need a bar in the middle here somewhere to support the shelf, otherwise it's gonna be unstable. So if I increase this, let's say, I don't know, to 3 meters, it's gonna be very unstable shelf. We probably need some 2 or 3 bars there to support that. So we're gonna create some formulas for that. First of all, I'm gonna create a new parameter. I'm gonna call this parameter inside length, and another parameter, we're gonna call this one bar spacing, and okay. So what this means is the inside length, I'm gonna start, let me move this one to 2 meters again. Move it around so you guys can see that. So I'm gonna start taking dimensions from the inside, from there to there. So we're gonna call the inside length, we call that width minus open bracket bar offset. That is gonna be times 2 because we have got 2 of them, and close bracket. Make sure that the width is capital letters. There you go. So what this means is going to be the width of the shelf, 2 meters, minus the bar offset. So that one is 100 and that one is 100. Minus that is going to be 1800. And the bar spacing, let's say if we have another bar here we want, or the next bar that we want to create automatically, we want the gap to be 600, for example. After every 600 meters minimum, then needs to create an automatically a support bar, and that's bar spacing for that. And we're gonna create another one, and we're gonna call this array, and that is our array count. And make sure that you call this one as integer. Okay, and this is gonna be the under visibility. And there you go. For this one, we're gonna set a formula open bracket inside length divided by bar spacing. Okay, so this is gonna tell us how many is gonna be inside there, and apply. I didn't spell that correct. And there you go. So it is calculating 3. And I'm gonna create another formula for that. So the new parameter I'm gonna create is gonna be an if statement. I'm gonna call this array count, array number, sorry, and that is gonna be also under integer and keep that as other. Okay, and the formula for this one is gonna be if open bracket array count is less than 2 array count close bracket. Okay, and let's label now this to that formula that we just created. So if I change the width of my shelf to, let's say, 800, and as you can see, it is still working. And that formula tells me that you don't need any more shelves. It is only when it is minimum 600 gaps between the next one. So for example, if I go now, let's say 3 meters, and you can see that it's creating support at minimum 600, and I can reduce that or increase this. I can even go to, I don't know, 300, and you will see that I will have more bars, and I can go to, I don't know, 800, and I will have less. So you can set that in there. Okay, for now I'm just going to keep it to 600. Alright, let's go to front view, and when we go to front view we can now let's create a reference plane for the upstand as well. Okay, and we call the upstand and okay. Let's reduce the scale of the drawing, and we can lock this one now as well. We can lock it to the top of that. Pick that and lock. Pick the reference plane, and there you go. Now it is all locked. There you go. So it is all locked now, and I'm gonna look at it in 3D view. Changing the dimensions, 1600 for example, depth 400, and as you can see, it is all working fine. Alright, so we can even create a second shelf for this. We can call it 2-tier. Let's go to front view and highlight it, copy, and as you can see, I can't move it down. I can click on the upstand, unlock that one, click on the shelf, unlock that as well, and then highlight it, copy, and I can move it 300 mil down, and there you go. So now I have got 2-tier shelf, and I can change the dimensions of them. Let's say 1800, and as you can see, the parameters that we have set will apply for the second shelf as well. But let's increase that as well. So let's have a new parameter for that. Call that bar height, and set that to, let's say, 400 mil. Okay, click on that, highlight it, edit type, And as you can see, bar height, we have set that in the previous family already. So we're just gonna link them together. Bar height, okay. That's fine. Let's remove that for now and okay. I think I know what's going on, and let's finish that. Alright, yeah. As you can see, it is now moved up. Okay. So we can go to the front and we can lock that. It's not a big deal. We can click on there, lock, and click on that and lock that there. And we want the bar height to be, let's say, 380 for example, so it fits perfectly underneath that, and there you go. Yeah. Let's change the width of that, let's say 2.6, and we want the depth of it to be 400, and apply. And as you can see, it is all working. And let's set a parameter for that, and we're gonna call that new. We call this 2-tier. And yes and no, visibility, and there you go. We can highlight this too. I'm holding to control, click on them, and visibility, 2-tier, it is showing at the moment. So if I go to project view or preview visibility and I switch that on and I switch the 2-tier off, as you can see, it is gone now. And if we want to have that in a project, for example, if we need it, and you just tick the box, okay, and there you go, you have got it. Yeah, that is your 2-tier. So yeah, that's it. And if it was helpful, please subscribe to my channel and give a thumb up. And if you had any problems or anything, leave your comments and I will get back to you, or someone else might be able to help you. And see you soon. Thank you guys. Bye.